Mr. Chair.
So go ahead.
Opo, malinaw dun sa na inventaryo pa lang nila yung itinaas nila ayon dun sa pag-uusap po. Ibig sabihin, overprice yung 2 hanggang 3 linggo na ibinenta sa aming fuel. I-refund nila yung 100 to 120% na itinaas dito kung inventaryo pa yung ibinebenta.
Of the with the permission ni Senator Lawrence, since we're on this topic, kasali rin to sa mga list of questions. Also a slide, Alena, slide 108. And we've been looking at the behavior ng presyo ng MAPS at presyo natin sa domestic. At makikita natin sa gasolina, pag tumataas ang MAPS, kaagad taas ang gasolina. Walang lag. Pag tumaas, next slide, ang MAPS sa diesel, kaagad tataas ang presyo ng domestic sa diesel. Wala ring lag. And ito very technical to, but we ask our economists to look at it. Slide 110. Yung changes, talagang yung changes ng MAPS at changes ng local gasoline talagang mimics each other. Konti lang yung diferensya niya, but in terms of timing, halos parehong-pareho. Next, sa diesel, ganyan rin. Parehong-pareho rin yung timing. I don't buy the replacement cost argument. Dahil at the end of the spectrum, yung pinakadulo nito, yung mga drivers natin, hindi naman sila nagre-replacement cost eh. Hindi nga tumataas yung kanilang pasahe. Why do we allow, and I'm not accusing of any uncompetitive behavior, I'm not accusing of anyone of profiteering, I'm just saying, we allow the oil companies, the retailers, to price their oil on a replacement cost basis. Pero sa mga pinakadulo, hindi sila pwede magtaas ng pamasahe. Ipit sila. Yung nag-i-import tsaka yung dealers, pwede silang magtaas ng presyo pero yung nasa dulo hindi. So I don't buy that eh. And sa mga ganitong crisis, alam nito ng maraming traders, sa mga ganitong crisis, ang mga traders tiba-tiba yan. Sigurado ako. Kasi nga, ang binili nila mas mura, kakataas lang ng presyo sa abroad, taas na rin ang presyo dito. Yung argument mo kasi, Director Rino, assumes na wala silang kapital. Kung ano yung binili nila, yun rin ang gagamitin nilang pang-kapital. Hindi nangyayari yan sa negosyo. Normally, meron kang bank loans para bumili ka ng next shipment mo. So, my point of the matter here is, again, I'm not accusing anyone of profiteering. I'm not accusing anyone of hoarding. Pero kailangan ma-assure natin ng publiko na walang pang-aabusong nangyayari. Walang nagsasamantala nitong sitwasyon. Sana wala. No? Sana walang nagsasamantala nitong sitwasyon. Pero ako, I guarantee you, after this exercise, may windfall profits. Whether traders abroad, trader dito, oil companies, mayroon niyang windfall profits. And that's the sign na meron talagang nag-take advantage o nagsamantala nitong sitwasyon na ito. Ngayon, ang tanong ko, andito kasi ang invited PCC. Nasaan ang PCC? Sa mga ganitong situation, this is an abnormal situation. And we just want to make sure na hindi inaabuso ng ibang mga, again, hindi ko linalahat ha, hindi inaabuso ng mga enterprises itong abnormal situation. Are you monitoring this situation?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Currently, we are conducting market monitoring, but we note that we have limited visibility on the data, and we are hoping to receive disaggregated data, particularly on gas station level data, so that we can also map out if there is
But not only gas station, but you have to go upstream.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Diba?
We have already previously sent a letter request for information from the DOE, but we are hoping to coordinate also with the DOE, Mr. Chair.
Ang
receive
problem
further
kasi,
monitoring.
Director Rinos, wala kayong visibility on the purchase price. Tama? Use the mic.
Mr. Chair, if you look at the law, because this is the very big elephant in the room, our Section 14A says that DOE shall monitor, publish daily international crude oil prices. We're doing that now with maps. As well as follow the movements of oil prices. We're doing that with the gasoline station. Yeah.
No, but-
so
We're not only monitoring the prices, but monitoring abuses, possible abuses, and monitoring possible profiteering.
we're doing that extra effort, Mr. Chair. That's why Yusek Quimpi has been saying that despite this limitation,
Yeah, pero paano nyo malalaman kung hindi nyo alam purchase price?
So-
And you just take replacement cost as the
so what we do,
as the
yeah,
as the accounting computation.
again, at the very limitations of the law, we are forced to do it on the ground. Kasi yun ang mayroong kaming follow the movements. Doon ang requirement na pwede kaming mag-monitor sa pump price. And we're doing that.
Kasi ako, napanood ko yung interview ng, I think si Mr. Baluran na, hindi mo naman kailangan maging ekonomista o kasing galing ni Mr. Sunny Africa. Talagang, bakit kagbibili lang ng oil companies, katataas lang ng presyo kaninang hapon, bukas iba na yung presyo. You don't need to be an economist to do that. Eh, lumang presyo yung binili nila eh. My point of matter here is, under the, ito i-remind ko lang, under the excise tax law suspension, binigyan namin ng kapangyarihan ang DOE para tignan yung mga presyo. Use that power and submit to us an analysis whether enterprises are abusing the situation. Kasi, base sa aking nakikitang pag-aanalisa, meron at meron talagang magte-take advantage ng situation. At itong mga ganitong crisis, dito talaga kumikita maraming mga traders. Once in a blue moon lang to nangyayari. Once in a lifetime lang pwede silang kumita ng tiba-tiba eh. Bakit hindi nagagawin? Pero kawawa naman tayo. That is my point. So again, I don't want to belabor the kasi alam ko rin yung sagot ninyo. But I'm telling you that we have now included at hindi na veto ng presidente, no? The power to DOE to look at all the pricing mechanisms, all the pricing components of oil, at least during this time of crisis. Kasi kailangan natin masabi sa taong bayan with a straight face na walang pang-aabusong nangyayari. Yun naman gusto natin mangyari. So, binibigyan na namin kayo ng kapangyarihan na gawin yan.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. The Department of Energy, despite these limitations, will really go the extra mile. Give us the go signal, we'll do it. Now, I think you mentioned a very important matter. We have an oil deregulation law, yet the public utility vehicles, they are regulated. That's where that disconnect is. Doon po talaga hindi siya nagtutugma. Kasi, meron tayong deregulated na pagpasok ng fuel, pero yung fare is regulated. So, hindi po talaga siya automatic na dapat magkaroon ng automatic mechanism as well. Or, we have both regulated. So, it's up for us to determine which is the best on the way forward.
Senator Lauren, your